Stop talking about us. Reviews are popping, quotes are dropping. Are you in yet? Insurancemarket.ie.
Yeah, welcome back to the agenda. We're going to be discussing airports now. I love a bit of airport chat. I'm a bit of an aviation geek, actually. And I don't know about you, but if you've travelled through a major airport recently, you'll know that security checks can be a bit of a bottleneck. You know, you've got that unpacking of the laptops, the 100 ml liquid rule. Certainly when I've got the kids with me scrambling around at the trays, like trying to get it all out and in, you know, in that sort of 5-minute stretch. We are very lucky in the UAE. Certainly DXB, I mean, I can check in and get to my gate in half an hour. It's amazing. So, but I know that it's not always the same when I fly out of the UK. But it's going to get even quicker here, apparently. Changes are on the way with the news that Dubai International Airport is going to be rolling out new screening technology that could mean passengers, you won't have to remove your electronics or liquids from your bags at all. Apparently. It's all part of a major upgrade into the airport's security infrastructure. I'm delighted to say I'm joined in the studio to explain how it works and what passengers can expect. I have Tom Squier with me. He's Managing Director of Smith's Detection Middle East, and that's the company behind this new tech that's being rolled out at DXB. Thanks for coming on the show.
No, you're welcome, Katie. Good morning.
Tom got kind of rudely awoken this morning, I think, because I read this story last night, and hats off to his comms team. They all guns blazing. They were going to get you on the show through hell and high water, weren't they? So let's start. What exactly is being introduced at Dubai International Airport, and how does it differ from what passengers are used to? Because my understanding is we already can leave liquids in our bags at DXB. That's right, but maybe? Oh, it's called what they call lags. I've just learned the expression lags.
Liquids, aerosols and gels.
Yeah, I'm going to be using that more. But so what's changing with your new technology?
Yeah, so I think firstly what Dubai Airport are doing, achieving 92 million passengers in a calendar year is truly remarkable. Smiths Detection has been providing equipment to the airport for 20 years, but we're very pleased to be selected to provide the latest technology. So if you think of all the passenger checkpoints at the moment, there's 118 passenger checkpoints across the 3 terminals at the airport. The current technology takes a single X-ray image, and then the Dubai Airport Police, who do a fantastic job, look at that X-ray image for contraband and threat items. Because of that technology, we're required to take electronics out of the bag, take lags out of the bag. But with the new technology, because it uses computed tomography technology or CT technology, similar to a medical CT, it gives a high-definition 3D image. It also gives a much better security detection capability for explosives. So with that advancement in technology, it allows us to leave electronics and liquids in the bag. So if you think of the last time you flew and you divested into 3, maybe 4 trays, we're aiming to reduce that to 1, maybe 2 tray, which gives a much better throughput per checkpoint and a much better passenger experience.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Is AI involved in all this as well?
Yeah, absolutely. With the new technology, you're obviously creating significantly more data, so that gives 2 benefits. One is for explosive detection accuracy. It also allows artificial intelligence to detect other contraband items like lithium-ion batteries, weapons, narcotics, currency as well, using AI technology.
We're going to be discussing batteries in our next segment. Yeah. That poor passenger that had one of those handheld batteries, what are they called? Those mobile battery devices, yeah. They put it in the hold. Anyway, we'll get into that with the next segment. So stay tuned if you have questions about that. I mean, it does sound incredible. You say down to 1 tray. Time-wise, can you give an estimation as to how much perhaps people will save?
Yeah, I think probably the best metric is the throughput per checkpoint. So the processing speed of the X-ray is the same, despite having such an advancement in the technology. But we estimate that the passenger throughput speed will increase by about 30 to 40%. So we should be able to process around 400 passengers per hour through the checkpoint. So better security outcomes, more enjoyable for the passenger than not having to take their bag open and divest a whole bunch of items. And better throughput. So it's really ticking 3 boxes for the airport and helping support the ambition of the continued passenger number growth.
That will be music to the ears of Paul Griffiths, who said on the Business Breakfast last week at Arabian Travel Market that in the end, what he wants is for for us to spend 2 hours at the airport, for 1 hour and 58 minutes of it to be shopping, and the 2 minutes of it to be checking in, getting your bag, going through security. Yeah. So your technology is definitely going to help achieve that. And you weren't the only company being considered for this, were you?
No, despite the fact we've been partnered with Dubai Airport for 20 years, it is a competitive market. We're very fortunate that our product is designed and manufactured in Germany to the highest standard of German engineering, as you would expect. But it was a competitive tender. It involved doing an operational checkpoint trial, so we had to prove our technology compared to the competition. And we're very pleased to have been selected, and we're looking forward to commencing the rollout in July this year, and hoping to complete 118 checkpoints within 12 months, which is hugely ambitious in a busy airport, but we've got an outstanding service and programs team ready for the challenge.
And that will be in T1, T2, T3?
All 3 terminals.
Yeah.
The first unit will go into Terminal 3. So we're
course.
very excited about that.
And when you were trialling these, were they live in the airport as well, or were you trialling them somewhere else?
No, we had to do it. We first, so the European and American authorities test the explosive detection performance. The Dubai Airport Police then also test that performance, so to make sure they're happy with that automated explosive detection. They test the AI capability as well to make sure that they're comfortable with that. And then we did a live operational trial with live passengers to measure the interoperability, the passenger experience and the throughput.
And to those passengers, would they have known that they were experiencing anything different, or was it just the same?
Yeah, the look and feel was different. It should have been a much faster, easier experience as well. So we look forward to rolling it out across all terminals.
Will this new tech prevent those kind of false flags? Because there's nothing more annoying. It always happens when I'm late for a flight. When your suitcase goes down the kind of, I'm like, oh no, it's been selected, and then they open it and actually it's a kind of false flag. Will that help with that? Yeah,
absolutely. So it gives, as I said earlier, a much better automated detection capability, but it also provides a much cleaner image for the operators to look for threats and contraband. If you think of, if you have a broken bone, you go for a standard X-ray, you get a single image and you can see the break. If you have a more complicated medical issue, you get a CT X-ray or CT scan. So the ability for the police to look at that image and identify if something is a threat or isn't a threat is much more advanced. So the likelihood of false rejects or false alarms is much lower as well. So a higher probability of detection and a lower false alarm rate.
You said you're going to start the rollout from July. When will we start experiencing, like, obviously July is a busy month. I think I'm heading back to Europe. When is it? The 14th. You know, will I be able to use one of these in T3 on July the 14th?
It depends on the schedule. If you think of the complexity of the numbers that Dubai Airport are achieving, and we have to replace one lane one at a time, so leapfrogging 118 times. We're on track to have the equipment in country, so it's a matter of picking the right time through the passenger numbers and the peaks at the airport. We're hoping to have the first lane commissioned by the end of July, and then completed by May next year. You've
just sparked a question in my head about installing these. I mean, it is a nightmare in terms of, do you have to pick like quieter periods? Is DXB ever quiet?
No, well, that's the challenge with their numbers now. It's almost busy all the time, so the peaks and troughs are less visible. But we've had a good working relationship with the airport for a very long time. We work very closely with the police as well. We have 70 Smiths detection engineers at the airport working around the clock. We have an excellent program management team, so we're ready for the challenge and looking forward to it.
Yeah, it sounds incredible. You also work closely with other airports across the world. Are your technologies being rolled out elsewhere that perhaps we may have already experienced as passengers here?
Yeah, there's certainly a strong uptake of the technology based on the benefits. So we've sold about 1,600 units globally. So most of the major international airports are now adopting this technology, but we're very proud to be part of the Dubai Airport adoption.
Yeah, and we are hoping to speak to Dubai Airport. So I was speaking to Ali from the comms team when they're ready. And I think when it's due to go live, we're going to get them on because they would like to go through sort of, again, like what the passenger experience is going to be like, kind of, yeah, how it's going to speed it up, what we can do. Is there any sort of preparation we should be doing for these lanes? Or is it literally like put your bag in a tray and walk through the arch thing?
Yeah, pretty much. So the aim is that you just put your carry-on bag, one bag, into the tray, and then it depends whether you have jacket or shoes or belts and things that need to come off. But ideally, we're trying to get as close to one tray per passenger. That's the goal and the aim, and the technology enables that.
Amazing. It's always my watch I forget to take off. My daughter's, she likes wearing Heelys in the airport. I don't know if you know what they're like, the shoes with the little wheels in, because obviously it's like amazing to glide through. But we have to take those off. We are that family that you don't want to be behind in the airport security queue. You really don't. So I'm pleased. You will still have to take shoes off though, right?
Yeah.
We haven't quite got that far yet.
There's body scanners coming as well, so that will. So the target for the new airport is to have an even more seamless journey. But this CT technology at the checkpoint at DXB will be a huge step forward, and laying the foundation for really futuristic screening at the new airport.
And you'll be doing that screening at Al Maktoum?
Hopefully, yes.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Dubai Airport.
If we do a good job on this one, hopefully.
This is their pitch.
Yeah.
So that was amazing to chat to you. Thank you so much. That was the voice of Tom Squier. He's Managing Director of Smith's Detection Middle East. They're the company behind these new machines, these new scanning machines that will be rolled out at DXB from July. I'd love to know what you think about this. Do you get sick of the queues at the airport, the security queues? I have to say, Dubai gives the best passenger experience. It really does. But I'd love to know what your view is. Get in touch on 4001, or you can WhatsApp me on 04871 5500.
More of The Agenda is coming up next
on the UAE's #1 talk radio station.